Well, are you Olivia?
Yes.
Yes, hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi,
Let's give it up for Olivia. So, first off, it's a wonderful film. It seems like it took so much work. But I was amazed at how much charm and story and world you're able to pack into it, even without dialogue and all that. You do a lot, and it's very impressive. I do want to start this by letting you know that this film has won some awards. So, all in the animation category, you have won the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Animated. The Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Writing in Animation, and the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Originality.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Cool. So, yeah, I just would love to learn more about you and the project and how it all came together. So if you would like to introduce yourself to the crowd.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My name's Olivia, and originally I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I started off by I always knew I wanted to do animation, and for the longest time I was like dead set on that's what I was going to do. But then I actually ended up doing my undergraduate in architecture because it just seemed like, I don't know, a more like practical, I guess, like use of like, I don't know, like art at the time, or like a way to like, I don't know, make money or whatever. But then, I don't know, but then as I started kind of working in the real world of that, I just felt that, I don't know, I just felt so unsatisfied with the work I was doing, and I just really felt that, oh, sorry. And I really knew that, I don't know, I had to just get back into animation and filmmaking in general. And so that's what I guess like prompted me to do what I'm doing now, which is I'm pursuing an MFA in animation at Cal Arts. And this was the result of, in the program, in the first year, we have like a first year film we have to make. And so that was this film, and I've always been really drawn to like hand-drawn, like kind of like on paper, tactile, I guess, like animation, because I really like all the textures and stuff that you get from it, so
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to start with just where some of the creative ideas came from and the inspiration. Like, you said this was an assignment, right? Or like the first project. So,
yeah.
Like, what were you asked to do, and where did some of the ideas come from, and where did the story start?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's really open-ended. It wasn't like, you have to make a film about this, or it has to be in this medium, or anything like that. I mean, I guess the only kind of constriction was that it had to be animation because it was an animation program, but besides that it was completely open-ended of what you wanted it to be about and everything like that. And I guess like in general I've always been really attracted to like mythological story structures, and so that's kind of, I guess, was like the inspiration for like how I guess structured the film. Like I just think mythology and like mythological story structures in general just give you a lot of advantages in terms of making things like really surreal or ambiguous, and not being so, and I don't know, it also gives you a lot of liberty in terms of just making things really exaggerated or fantastical. And I guess like, and up at this time, this was also like coming out to LA and kind of doing this whole like, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, kind of putting myself out there artistically for the first time. It was totally out of my comfort zone, and it was the first time that I was kind of like away from my family. And it kind of my first time realizing that, I guess like being the firstborn daughter of my family, I've always had certain kind of like responsibilities or like expectations kind of put on me. And then finally kind of breaking off and doing my own thing was honestly really terrifying, because I felt like a lot of my identity had kind of been built around like, I don't know, like my role within like the family, I guess. And so kind of trying to like find myself like beyond that identity is kind of where this film, like, I guess, started from.
Very cool. I'd love to know more about the visual style, like the way everyone is drawn. Everything is so distinctive, but also, so I'd love to know like how you developed that style. If it's something that came, do you design for this, or if you I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, basically, like, where did the visual style come from, and how have you honed that over the years?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was kind of, I guess, figuring it out as I went. I mean, in terms of like how the characters and like the world looks, there was like a brief period before I started working on the film that was kind of like my pre-production phase. It wasn't as long as I think I would have liked for it to have been, but I was still able to kind of like design all the characters and just kind of figure out. I know I wanted the film for the most part to be kind of like black and white, and then for I don't know, color to be revealed later. But I guess in terms of the character design, I don't really, I don't know why. I guess I'm attracted to like this particular kind of design, except for probably influences I've had growing up. I've always really liked the work of the illustrator Mobius, who's like a French illustrator, and especially for like the design of like the world and like the parents. I was really looking at a lot of his work. Yeah, and I think it just kind of is a mix of like influences that I've seen like in my life, and also just kind of like intuitive, like kind of figuring it out like as I go. But yeah,
that's great. I see the Mobius inspiration. It's very cool. What was the animation process like? I saw from the credits it wasn't a huge crew, right? It seemed like it was mostly you. So and it's beautifully done. So yeah, I would just love to know what that process was like.
Yeah, thank you. All the animation was by me. It was like, it was all hand-drawn on paper, except for a little bit of compositing and After Effects, but for the most part, it was all just like frame by frame on paper. And I think like, I don't know, I never like counted them all up exactly, but I know that it was like over 1,000 like pieces of paper. It was like all printer paper. So I had like a stack like that big on my desk like after the film was over. Yeah, it was honestly, I mean, it was like a test of endurance, I guess, to just like I don't know, keep like just going at it. But I feel like animation is kind of like, I feel like when I'm doing it, sometimes I like get like bogged down, or like I'm kind of like, this is so labor intensive, like why am I doing this? But then whenever I see like kind of the finished shot of something, it's so rewarding that it's just like a reminder of like, oh yeah, like this is why I'm doing it this way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
All the animation, I think about like 5 months maybe. Yeah.
Well, I have 2 more questions, and I want to open it up, so start thinking. But I'm curious, there's a lot of like beautifully dynamic shots in this where you're like pushing in through doors and things, and from my understanding of like hand-drawn animation, it's very difficult to pull off, so I'm curious how you did it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was actually, well, I was inspired to kind of do shots like that because I took this class the semester before, and it was just kind of like a hand drawing and animation class, but one of the assignments was called like moving camera, and it was how to animate just frame by frame, like moving around a room. And I don't know if it was like my background in architecture or what, but I just was really like attracted to that immediately. And I think it's just a really effective way of like showing space and threshold and everything else. And I just knew that I wanted it to be like kind of a motif, I guess, in the film. And I guess it's how it's done. I mean, it's just like, I usually start with kind of doing like where the shot is going to begin, and then like a frame where the shot is going to end, and then just like frame by frame, just kind of like incrementally like getting like closer and closer.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Cool. Okay, my last question before I open it up is, what was the hardest thing to pull off in this whole project?
That's a good question. I think honestly for me it was editing, because I had never, I mean, I had done like a couple of like little animations in the past, so I mean, I definitely like this was still like the most animation I'd ever done, but I was kind of like, I had a little bit of familiarity with it, but when it came to editing, I like had never really made like a full film before, and so it was hard for me to like wrap my mind around, I guess, like the concept of like, I guess, like editing, like, I don't know, like I remember at some point I had someone tell me like, oh, you need to like take that shot out, and I was just thinking like, I spent so much time like animating this shot, I don't want to take it out, but but sometimes it's like it's necessary, and like that is, I guess, what editing like is.
Did you take it out?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience? Anyone? Yes.
The sound design. Why so gross?
I don't know. I guess I really just wanted for it to be. I felt like the images were very like tactile and visceral, and so I wanted like the sound to kind of like match that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah, in terms of editing this, when you have the 1,000 pieces of paper, when you animate it, do you just animate sequentially, or do you animate pieces of paper like by scene and then keep them in stacks and scan them in? And if something's not fluid, then you add something in between, or like what's that process look like?
Yeah, no, that's I feel like it kind of varies person to person. I feel like for the most part I would kind of take it like scene by scene. Like I would try to just animate like all the shots in one scene, and then just scan them all in and see how it looked. And for the most part, it ended up working out pretty good. But there were like there were some certain shots that were tricky, and I would just have to really like break it down and like just like focus on like one shot for a while, and then kind of go back and forth between scanning it in and then like adding a frame or two and then like scanning it in again. It was just a lot of trial and error, but it is really like, it was really important for me to like keep everything like super organized. And for the most part, I did try to keep all the frames like in sequential order of like how the film was, so that if I did have to go back and like add something, I could just like go through all the pieces of paper and know like where in the film it was. So it was just like a little easier to kind of like keep track of.
Cool. We have time for one more. Yeah, in the back.
I had kind of like a story question. So like it's called Firstborn, but the parents had 2 dogs before. I was wondering like, I guess it's 2-parter, right? Because the parents look a certain way and the kids look a certain way. I was wondering what the parents were looking for, and also how many times they've done this.
No, that's a good question. I think that's something I don't fully, I guess, like have an answer for, and it is something that I kind of wanted to keep ambiguous. I think like how I was thinking about it was that because the child can't move on, she kind of becomes like the dogs that the family owned or whatever. But I've had a lot of people bring that up of like, are the dogs like the former kids? And I like that interpretation. It wasn't like what I was thinking as I was making it, but I do like really like that idea.
Cool. Well, I have one final question, which is, what did you do with all the paper?
It's sitting in a box in my room on my shelf of my closet.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Congratulations. Let's give it up for Olivia.